Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Honorable Professor Dr. Saprijal MPD as the lecturer in Seminar on English Language Teaching course and all of the presenters for today's seminars. And before we start the seminars, let me introduce myself. My name is Putri as the moderators for today's. So everyone, before we start the presentation of the seminar today, let me remind you some rules you have to do for today's seminar. First one, before you present your material, you have to mention your name and also your student numbers. And also the question and answer session, it will be at the end of the seminars. So before we start the seminars of today, let's saying Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. All right, let's start the seminar today with the first presenters. For the first presenters is Farhan Hussein. For Farhan, time is yours.
Thank you so much for Puput as a moderator of today's seminar. And I will first introduce myself. My name is Farhan Hussein from Class A with a student number of 222, 321, 00, and 22. So today's, it's my turn to share my seminars on my non-research article entitled Improving Speaking Skills with YouTube Drilling Method. So as we already know what YouTube is as a platform, but we doesn't know what drilling method is. So let me explain a simple way for you guys to know what drilling method is. So basically, in education, drilling method imply for some kind of a way and method to learn something by repeating the materials again and again, especially for improving your speaking skills or when you're learning a new language and you wanted to be fluent in that language. So most of the time people use drilling methods. So next slide, please. Now, I begin with an introductions on YouTube itself. So a lot of people already know what YouTube is as a video platform in websites, in application, and so on and so forth. So there is an expert called Khalid in 2012. According to Khalid, YouTube is a website that allows users to publish, to share, and watch videos. And in today's interconnected world, effective communication skills, and particularly in spoken language, it plays a crucial role in like personal and academic and also professional success as technology continue to evolve in this 5.0 society. So to do the methods for enhancing these skills, one platform that has gained immense popularity for its potential in language learning is no one other than YouTube. So next slide. So here is my non-research questions that I built to deeply understand the effectiveness of YouTube itself. So the first questions that I built or I began to consider is how can YouTube be effectively utilized to like enhance speaking skills in EFL situations? The second one is what are the challenges and like between the theoretical approaches and real world applications of using YouTube for language learning. The third one is how do learners perceive and experience using YouTube as a tool for language learning? And the fourth one is like what instructional strategies and approaches can educators employ to address the challenges associated with using YouTube for language learning? The fifth one is what instructional strategies and approaches can educators employ to address these challenges associated with using YouTube for language learning? And the last one is what role does digital literacy play in navigating and evaluating language content in YouTube? So these are the non-research questions that I began to like deeply explore to answer all these questions, because I believe that there is a lot of people that has done research on YouTube in improving like speaking skills. That's why in this non-research, I will begin to like quote those kind of research that already being conducted by other experts, by other researchers to prove something which is the from this research non-research question. So I take the result, finding the discussions from the other researchers, and then I begin to conclude from those kind of example, from those sample to conclude these research questions. So next slide. Now, the supporting theories that I use is three. The first one is speaking skills. So speaking, according to Yuliawati in 2019, is an activity that enables people to vocally convey their ideas or actions. Speaking is seen as an example of oral competence since it necessitates the capacity for both verbal and non-verbal informations. And the second theory is exploring YouTube as a learning tool. So internet videos are a powerful tool for education as they promote the learning process and have a significant impact on students' academic performance, especially. From Apuk and Yendo in 2018, additionally, instructor can use video to teach and learn in English classes, and this encourage students' interactions and support social pedagogy on Abdurrahman in 2016. Now, the drilling method, ER and Hairudin in 2015 claimed that the drill is a method that could improve the ability permanently. They added that the drill technique or method built on a systematic representations of the subject and is based on an approach that has been proven through practices to knowledge and efficiency that the learner may acquire and apply. So from these three theories, I began to search what kind of researches that has conducted by using this three supporting theory, which are the three main factors that we're going to discuss in my non-research obstacle. The first one is speaking skill, the second one is YouTube as a learning tool, and the last one is the method itself, the drilling method. And next slide, please. Now, the methods of my non-research article is using the explanatory method, and this non-research article provide detailed explanations of how YouTube can be efficiently utilized as a platform for enhancing speaking skill through the drilling method itself. It elaborates on the rationale behind employing the drilling method, which involves structured practice session designed to improve pronunciation, fluency, and confidence in speaking. Moving on. Now, these are my finding and discussions. So these are the first research that I take their result in. So based on the findings detailed in Putri 2022, it can be concluded that the utilizations of YouTube has significantly positive impact on the acquisitions of speaking skill using the drilling method among class X1 students at SMA IEPI Darussalam. And this conclusion is drawn from the result of post-test calculations conducted in both the experimental and control groups. So the experimental group yielded a mean score of 78.7580, while the control group recorded a mean score of 76.47 and 60. Furthermore, the t-test revealed that the calculated t-value, or 9.090, exceed the critical t-value 2.064, indicating that statistical significance. Therefore, the alternative hypothesis, or HA, is accepted, affirming a significant effect of utilizing YouTube in speaking skill development through the drilling method for class X1 students at SMA YPI Darussalam. So these are the data that is hard to understand, right? So basically, what I meant to explain is that from this research with all like the methods and the theory that Putri used in 2022, basically from all the data that she gathered, it can be concluded that by using YouTube and using the drilling method as the learning, it means that it will be effective for the student to learn these speaking skill by utilizing YouTube tools and by using the drilling method itself. So from this research that is conducted by Putri, I take that there is a positive impact on utilizing YouTube itself. So moving on to the next slide. So there's the second research that I concluded. So based on the result of Ying 2021, research one substitute method for teaching speech during a pandemic is to use YouTube video. This study examines how students can utilize YouTube videos to improve their speaking abilities and how teaching and learning with YouTube video is conducted in the classroom. In 2020, a classroom action research study was conducted with first semester college students at Muhammadiyah University of Kudus. So the study population is coming from all non-English program participants, with 85 students from redundant classes selected for the sample via proposed shift sampling. So the researchers employed a constant comparative approach and descriptive statistic to evaluate the data gathered from speaking evaluation and interview. Next slide. So basically from these two research and with all the detail that I cannot explain in this PPT slides. So in conclusion is the utilizations of YouTube as a platform for enhancing speaking skill through the drilling method offers significant benefits to language learners. By engaging in structured practice session like tailored to individual needs and proficiency levels, learners can improve their pronunciation, fluency, and confidence in speaking despite challenges and like any other obstacle. YouTube presents a valuable resource for language learning and providing a convenient and engaging way to develop speaking ability. So these are my conclusions out of the two research that I explore. So probably that is at the end of my explanations on my seminar on this YouTube. So probably it's time for Q&A sessions. I think I will give it back to the moderator first. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Farhan. You have a great explanations. But for the Q&A session, we have at the end of the seminar. So now we have to continue to the second presenters. It's Dinara Safina. For Dinara, screen is yours.
All right, thank you, moderator. Hello, everyone. My name is Dinara Safina with student ID 222-321-000 and 9, and I am from A class. Here, I would like to present my study with title "The Impact of Feedback on Improving Student Skills in Writing at Senior High School." Next slide, please. All right, we start from the introduction, and in the slide, here is the background of the study. Many students today have a bad attitude about writing in English and find it difficult to complete a composition. Students typically merely utilize few words to teaching writing in high school is often varies with various challenges, and students may have difficulty organizing ideas, structure, good writing, and using correct grammar or developing a coherent argument. Feedback has a great deal of promise to help senior high school students become better writers, and understanding the effects of feedback and how to use it in the unique context of senior high school students' writing development is crucial as educators or teachers and researchers continue to investigate the successful feedback strategies. And in this study, we can investigate how good feedback can help students in the revision process and improve the quality of their writing in high school. And in today's era, numerous academics have examined the impact of written corrective feedback. The most efficient form of feedback has not yet been established, while some researchers claimed that direct corrective feedback work well. Others said that an indirect corrective feedback work better. So researchers have not yet arrived at an understanding of which type of feedback works best. So it needs more research to find out effective way to improve the students' writing ability and level. Next slide, please. Yep. Here are the formulation of the problem. The first research question is, do students always receive feedback when working on writing assignments? The second research question is, do students feel there is progress before and after being given feedback when working on writing assignments? And the last research question is, what perceptions do students have of direct and indirect feedback from teachers in English writing? Next slide, please. Here are the supporting theories that support my study about this paper. The first is from Hattie, the power of feedback from Hattie J. and Timperley Ha in 2018. They further explores the power of feedback in enhancing student learning, and the authors delve into different types of feedback models, and the role of students in the feedback process. And the second theory is the effects of teacher feedback. Zhu and Lee conduct a meta-analysis to examine the effects of teacher feedback on English as a foreign language learners' writing performance. And the study synthesizes findings from various research studies to provide an overview of the impact of teacher feedback on students' writing outcomes. And the last theory is the effects of peer feedback. Young, Badger, and Yu examine the effects of peer feedback on English as a foreign language writing revision, and the study investigates how different types of peer feedback, including direct, indirect, and metalinguistic, impact the students' revision behaviors and writing quality. The next slide, please. Yeah, we are moving to the method of this study. My research design is qualitative research, and the sample is students in senior high school in Pandeglang in my country. And the next is research instrument is interview. And I collect the data with literature review and focus group technique. The time and place is in March 2024. Next slide, please. Yeah, we are moving to the findings. So the first research question is, do students always receive feedback when working on writing assignments? I found that the research results show that they always get feedback when given this task. And the second research question is, do students feel there is progress before and after being given feedback when working on writing assignments? So the research results show that some of them have experienced quite significant progress. And the last research questions show that students' opinions of teachers' direct and indirect feedback on their English writing is various, since it provides clear instruction, validity strengths, and offers encouragement. Direct feedback is frequently valued. It teaches students how to grow by helping them comprehend their errors or their mistakes in writing assignment. Next slide, please. We are come to the discussions. So Feedback is available for a variety of people, such as classmates, teachers, and self-evaluators. Each feedback source has certain advantages and disadvantages. Students receive professional advice and insight from their teachers, whose opinions are often considered authoritative. So the instructors or the teachers can provide comments, feedback, suggestion, and clarification specific to each student's need. On the other hand, peer feedback gives students the opportunity to work in group and get input from classmates who may have similar writing experiences. And peer review encourages students to consider multiple points of view and fosters active participation in the writing process. And self-assessment, in which students analyze their own work in relation to predetermined standards, foster self-control and metacognitive awareness. And integrative comments from multiple sources can provide a thorough and balanced assessment of students' writing and helping to improve their skills. Next slide, please. And also, feedback has a significant impact on students' English writing. When students receive feedback on their written work, it provides them with valuable insights into their strengths and areas for improvement. And feedback also helps students understand how effectively they are communicating their ideas using grammar and vocabulary, organizing their thoughts, and maintaining coherence in their writing. By pointing out specific areas that need attention and offering suggestions for improvement, feedback guides students towards enhancing their writing skills. And it empowers them to make revisions, refine their writing style, and develop a better understanding of the conventions and expectations of English writing. Next slide, please. Or come to the conclusions of my study. So in conclusions, the research on the impact of feedback on improving students' writing skills highlights its tremendous significance as a catalyst for growth and development. And the findings consistently demonstrate that feedback plays an important role in enhancing students' writing abilities across various aspects, including writing quality, skill development, self-reflection, and self-regulation, and also the motivation, engagement, and long-term progress. So when requested to implement an innovation, teachers must consider professional development as well as time costs. Next slide, please. Oh, yep.
All right. Thank
So,
you so much.
thank you for your attention. That's all my study. I give it back to the moderator.
All right, thank you so much, Dinara. You have a great explanations. Okay, let's continue to the next presenters. Is Anaya Putri Srikandi for screen is yours.
And reminder for the topic. So before I start my presentation, I am going to introduce myself. My name is Anaya Putri Srikandi, and my student ID is 313510052. So in this occasion, I am going So I present my article about the impact of Duolingo as an interactive learning tool for students in. So I'm going to read the introduction. So education have a fundamental problem when it comes to language learning, encouraging curiosity-driven exploration or inquisitiveness. Applications for learning languages like Duolingo have been incredibly popular in recent years. Duolingo application gave the benefits and contribution to both the students and teachers in learning English, according to Fadila, 2022. However, it is important to comprehend how Duolingo, an interactive English learning application, encourages curiosity in college and high school students. The purpose of this study is to investigate how Duolingo users perceive and experience various educational environments in order to obtain a better understanding of how Duolingo affects their curiosity in language acquisition. Okay, so the purpose of the study stated before. So I'm going to the next objectives. As has been here on the screen, the objectives of this research is the first one is to examine the benefits of fostering inquisitiveness in language learning through interactive tools like Duolingo. The second is to understand the potential significance of interactive language learning tools, specifically Duolingo, in promoting curiosity and exploration. And the last one is to understand the learner's perspectives on the overall language learning experience facilitated by Duolingo, including its strengths and areas for improvement. Going to the next part, I'm going to explain the supporting theories. So the first one is student inquisitiveness. So the level or degree of students' inquisitiveness or curiosity in the context of English learning. Inquisitiveness refers to the student's natural inclination to explore, inquire, and seek knowledge. So inquisitiveness highlights its unique relationship with questioning and its importance in the learning process, making it a primary intellectual virtue to educate for, according to Watson L. It can be measured through self-report questionnaires, observations of students' behaviors, or other appropriate methods that capture their curiosity and interest in the learning process. The second is the Duolingo usage. So Duolingo application effectively strengthens students' interest in the learning. According to Sofia et al. In 2023, English promoting their continued learning and improving uh, their vocabulary mastery. So this variable represents the extent to which participants utilize Duolingo as an interactive English learning tool. It refers to the frequency and duration of students' engagement with Duolingo, including completing lessons, practicing exercises, and utilizing the various features and resources offered by the platform. It can be operationalized by tracking the number of sessions, time spent on the platform, or the completion of specific Duolingo activities or modules. There are also other potential mediating variables such as the engagement, self-efficacy, motivation, perceived relevance, and satisfaction. So the next I am going to explain the methodology that is used in this research. So the first one, this research is using qualitative method, which is obtaining a comprehensive understanding of the role of curiosity in language learning and to explore how Duolingo cultivates and fosters this curiosity among its users. And I also held a semi-structured interview that is capturing detailed information about the participants' engagement with Duolingo, their motivations, and the way in which their curiosity is stimulated and nurtured through the platform. So during the interview, participants were given the opportunity to reflect on their personal experiences with Duolingo and share their perspectives on how the application influenced their curiosity in language learning and provide specific examples and anecdotes to illustrate their points. So the semi-structured nature of the interviews allowed for organic and exploratory conversations, enabling the participants to express their thoughts and feelings in their own words at their own pace. So by employing qualitative methods and conducting semi-structured interviews, uh, it is aimed to gain a deeper understanding of the lived experiences of Duolingo users and uncover the nuances of how curiosity operates in the context of language learning. This approach allows for the exploration of individual differences, diverse learning pathways, and unique insights that may not be captured through qualitative research methods alone. Here is the point that I have found. So after conducting the interview, it is found that all the participants agreed that Duolingo has the potential in fostering students' inquisitiveness because of the features within. So this finding is significant because it aligns with the principles of inclusive education that emphasizing the importance of providing equal opportunities for all learners, regardless of their backgrounds or abilities. So by accommodating beginners and offering a user-friendly interface and curriculum, Duolingo allows learners with no prior language knowledge to embark on their English learning journey with confidence and ease. And then we come to the discussion. So in this discussion section, I am going to mention that there are several features of Duolingo that is highly appreciated by students who had been interviewed. The first one is the accessibility and adaptive content. So in Duolingo, the content and the challenges are all individualized to each person so that they can have a different exercise based on their capabilities. This contributed to their engagement and motivation. The second is the game-based elements of Duolingo, including points, levels, and unlocking new content were found to enhance participants' motivation and enjoyment of the learning process. And the next is the pronunciation test. It is also highlighted as particularly valuable because of the importance itself of having speaking and pronunciation practice in language learning. Lastly, the scoring system and daily streak feature were believed as an effective motivational tools that encouraged participants to maintain a consistent learning habit. Okay, so we have come to the conclusion part. So the finding regarding Duolingo accessibility for beginners with no prior language knowledge reflects to the platform's ability to provide equal opportunities for all learners to engage in language learning activities. It underscores the significance of inclusive education principles and highlights the potential of Duolingo as an effective tool for promoting equitable access to language learning. So I think that's all that I can present for about my article. Thank you very much. I'll give it back to the moderator.
All right, thank you very much for your great explanation, Anaya. And let's continue the last